All right, so as promised, a lot of you hit me up on Twitter immediately. I actually got a few text messages as well. New Dead Space got announced. Well, not new. I got a couple notes here I wrote down. I'm actually going to watch it because apparently there's like a little trailer. I have not checked it out yet. I'm going to let it play and then I'll kind of talk about it. I guess I'll go ahead and start it up. But yeah, if you guys are excited for this, just throw that like button. I think that the fact that we got anything is amazing because I didn't expect anything anytime soon. I know a little while back they talked about possibly making a Dead Space 4. That was like a rumor. Then that got squashed, and then all of a sudden it was like a remake potential. Then I made that video. When I made it, I was like, I hope this is all true, you know. And anyways, we're gonna watch it, see what it looks like. I have not checked this out. I wanted to kind of go into this video spoiler free, if you would. All right, here we go. This is pretty short, by the way, a minute. Game engine footage represents game in development. All right. That is short and sweet, man. EA motive, yep. Frostbite engine, okay. All right, so I mean, that was really short. I kind of want to watch it again, but I don't want to be one of those channels that does like a 10-minute breakdown trying to hit the ad revenue. You know, I'm going to just kind of keep it simple. Maybe it will be 10 minutes. We'll see. I had a few notes. So I actually read an article that kind of showed some stuff about it. So, this thing says, because this is actually an interview with EA Motive's like lead, I guess, 2 lead people. They clearly state that it's not a polished up version of the original. So I'm guessing they are going, my initial assumption was they're going to go the Resident Evil route with Remake 2 and Remake 3. And I'm fine with that. It's going to be basically a brand new game. And it says that in terms of visual, sound, gameplay, and everything, we are rebuilding all of these assets. We are not porting them. It's not an up-resing the texture or adding more polygons to the model. It's really rebuilding all of these elements, shooting all the animations. Wow. They're actually, so they have the plot and the initial game of Dead Space as a blueprint, and they are going to redo all of it. All of it themselves. My wonder is, will they change anything? Because I thought it led into Dead Space 2 really well. I mean, obviously, I hope that we get a Dead Space 2. I like that in that little teaser we got, you know, it was the type of thing where you see like his health bar come back to life. You know, he's like, he was low health, all of a sudden he got fully health and it says cut off their limbs. They're really pushing the plasma cutter, you know? All right, so it's been 12 years since the first game, 8 years since the third game. So it's been 8 years since we got anything Dead Space related. It's only available. So here's one thing I kind of noticed. So they're really going to be utilizing the solid-state drives and the new consoles and on PC. They're only making it for PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Since they're rebuilding the adventure, it's getting to do so with specifically an eye towards PC and the latest consoles. While development is still early, Motive is already thinking about many ways to take advantage of the latest tech to improve Dead Space experience that was already so immersive during the Xbox 360 PS3 era. We want to make that immersion even deeper with a fully interactive experience from start screen to the end credits. We don't want anything to pull you out of the experience. We don't want any cuts. The faster SSDs of new consoles mean that there's not going to be any loading, not going to be any moment where you're going to get cut from your experience and cut from your camera. You can start. So basically from the start screen to the end credits, it's all going to be seamless. That's pretty awesome. I like that they're doing that because certain games coming out, they're still holding on to that last gen. And I know a lot of people still have like the, you know, the Xbox One and the PS4 still, which is fine. I just think that if you always have to make it for both, at a certain point you got to cut the cord. A lot of companies still seem to be kind of scared to do that because you got to think more people still have like a PS4 than they do a PS5, I'm pretty sure. So like if you make Far Cry 6 and it's only on PS5 and Xbox Series X and PC, you're going to miss out on so much revenue, you know? So everybody's scared to do that. Well, I feel like this kind of shows me that maybe the release date for this is not going to be anytime soon. I wouldn't even expect it next year. I would even say since it's July right now of 2021, if I had to guess, this doesn't feel like a summer game. I can't imagine. You know what? I'm going to Google this right now. I'm just curious. Dead Space. Sorry, my keyboard is very clanky. Release date. I'm curious. So October 14th, 2008. They could do that with the new one. Kind of a... Because so they did that, and then Dead Space 2 was January. Dead Space 3 was February. So they got... Maybe they'll go back to the roots and have a fall release. If it's fall next year, I wouldn't... That would be nice. Early October. Kind of going into Halloween, you know, all that stuff. Because everything that's massive, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, any of those big games are usually at the end of October, rolling into November. A lot of these companies want to push games out, you know, before Black Friday. I'm going to guess October next year, and I'm going to pick a release date. And I swear to you, this is perfect. It originally released on... So, releases for most games are Tuesday or Friday. October 14th, 2008. I don't know what day that was on. But October 14th of 2022 is on a Friday. And I have a feeling, if it's a nod to the original, that would give them more than a year to develop this. Now, if they're redoing everything, maybe it wouldn't be till... It's either going to be like Q1 of 2023 or Q4 of next year, I feel like. That's my prediction. All right, so EA Motive is developing it. Star Wars Squadrons, we've already talked about that before. I don't know how that game is with microtransactions. I do worry about that a little bit. EA did have like the overlook from Dead Space 1 to 3, and there wasn't really any microtransactions or anything in the game, but I do kind of worry that that could be a thing going forward if the first one like does well again. Will they try to milk it or anything, you know? All right, so now is the part where I wanted to talk about. So we talked about pretty much everything up to this point that I wanted to. The last few things I wanted to mention. The remake route. Will they go like the Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake? Will they make a second one? What will this have to do to sell well? You know, will people be interested in it? Because one thing that's kind of leading me to really want to play it more is if it was just a remastered version, wouldn't feel as exciting. But like, you go from Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation 1 to Resident Evil 2 on like current gen or whatever, yeah, or next gen for... It'd be for like PS4 and whatever. Yeah, it's definitely a huge jump. But that game also had to change because it had fixed camera angles versus over the shoulder. This, I don't see them changing too much as far as where the game mechanics play. They obviously got to get a good feeling for it. We don't know how far into development it is. But there's no Visceral Games, which are now Striking Distance Studios. Which, isn't it kind of funny? I was going to make this reference. It's like, we went from not having any kind of Dead Space vibe horror games ever after Dead Space 3. It's been 8 years. To now we're potentially getting 2 next year. We're getting the Callisto Protocol, which is made by the same... It's the old company, Visceral, that got, I guess, torn apart by EA after Dead Space 3. And they went on to make their own game, which obviously it's not a Dead Space game, but it's a space horror game, you know? And now we're getting both. It's like a blessing in disguise, maybe. But That's really all I have. I'm going to go back and watch this thing. I'm sure there's going to be people out there with an hour-long breakdown with red arrows in the thumbnail. And oh my gosh, at 12 seconds, there's a thing in the corner. Is that somebody's face? It's confirmed, you know. But I just wanted to kind of just do like a little real talk video with you guys. I told you I'd cover it if I saw any more information. And yeah, don't want to make this too long. But you guys are awesome. If you're excited for this, just destroy that like button. I'm very intrigued on just how they're going to do this. I have a lot of thoughts, but most of them are in this video. So you guys are awesome. Love you all. And if they do any kind of like gameplay reveal or anything like that, this is only like a teaser. It's like a teaser trailer, I guess is what you'd call it. But yeah. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Love you all. Take it easy.